Today it's the 18th of July. It's a bit wet and windy. We're up in the Dales, a place called Kirkby Stephen. We're going to see if we can get a short walk today before we get rained on. We've parked our car in the free car park just at the back of Kirkby Stephen. So we're turning right out of the car park down towards the church. At the T-junction we're going to turn right and head up towards the centre of town. And as we walk down towards the church, we see an old trailer that's been turned into a flower arrangement, so we take a quick shot of that. We're just at the other side of the road. In front of us we've got what looks like an old water fountain in memory to somebody, and you've got seats and that there, and it's quite nice with the flowers. We just look to our right hand side. We've got the coast to coast fish and chip shop there, but we're turning round and heading towards the marketplace. So we walk by the front of the White Lion and the Old Forge restaurant, past the butcher's on your left, until you come to the market square, and then turn immediate left and walk down the side of the newsagents. As we turn left, we walk through an archway, and that brings us out into the churchyard. So we take a quick look. We're stood in front of the church now. It's more like a village green. We've got the odd gravestone in front of us there, a giant one laid down. You know, that's maybe how it's supposed to be, I don't know. Massive. And then we've got one near the entrance, but you've got seats in that in here, so it would be a nice place to come and have a sandwich. And there's the arch that we came through. So we'll be turning left out the churchyard and heading towards Eden-Nateby now. And here's just a quick shot of the other side of the market square. We can see antique shops and a hotel and a flower shop, so there's a fair bit going on here. Quite a lively little place, even though it's looks like we're in for a lot of rain. We head forward another 100 yards. We see a sign saying River Eden, Frank's Bridge, so we're heading straight down, keeping to the wall. But while we're here, we look to our right hand side and we see we've got public toilets just at the back of the market square. So as we head down the alleyway's called Stone Shot, we see in the background, above the rooftops, the hills. Just walk down the hill, round the right hand bend. When you see like a stone building on your right hand side, just opposite there, you'll see the steps that take us down to the River Eden and Frank's Bridge. So we turn left there. As soon as you walk down the steps, turn immediate left, go by the side of Riverbank Cottage, and we're going to go to the other side of the river now. And then as soon as you walk onto Frank's Bridge, you don't know whether to look left or right. Both sides of the river, absolutely fantastic. We look to the right, over there, look. Under the trees, we see we've got some seats, so, you know, a good place in summer, or when the sun's shining, to have your sandwiches. Let's have a look at the other side now. We're just at the back of the houses. We've got ducks on either side. We can see the hills in the background covered in mist. We're turning right. On your left hand side you've got seats and you've a plaque telling you all about the River Eden, but we've got to press on because we've got rain clouds above us. So we're heading forward. As we walk by the plaque, we notice something, and we've got to have a quick look at this. It says on this plaque here, we also have the added bonus in Kirkby Stephen of a very noisy population of macaws, kept in a private aviary on the outskirts of town. They are often seen swooping and squawking overhead and sitting on the roofs of buildings. Well, as we entered Kirkby Stephen, we thought we saw what was a green woodpecker, but obviously it was a macaw. That's fantastic. And there's kingfishers in here as well. You're walking with a taxi driver today. Just keep walking forward through the gate, walk 100 feet along the tarmac path. In front of you, you've a sign saying Podgill. We turn right there. We've still got the River Eden on our right hand side. We're heading towards the stone barn in the distance. As we walk towards the stone barn following the river, we see what looks like a depression in the ground, and as we get closer we see it's a spring. It's only about 20 foot from the water's edge, but it's coming through the rocks, so it's definitely a spring, and we think it's, you know, worth a shot. Well, we'll leave it for now and keep going. We're trying to beat the rain today. On our left hand side, in front of the house, we've got a couple of runners, and it just gives me an excuse to show you the countryside. One's got the dog with them, but it's beautiful. Well, there they go, we'll leave them at that. We're more or less in front of the barn now. We've got swallows and swifts diving all over the grass trying to catch insects, flying within about a yard of us. Well, that's the front of the stone barn, and even the roof is made out of stone. We poke our camera into the barn entrance, just a quick look to see if there's any barn owls or any interesting birds nesting in here. We can't see nothing, so we'll leave it. We're just in front of the barn now. We look as if we're going into some trees. The sheep are only about 50 feet in front of us. They're not bothered. We're just going to walk into the wood now. We take a quick shot at the other side. We've got the sun coming out slightly, and you can see the white water of the Eden there. As we head forward towards the wood, we can see we've got a stream coming in from the left. We cross over the bridge on your left hand side. We've crossed over the bridge and we're just heading straight forward, slightly uphill through the wood, turning slightly right now. As you drop out of the wood after a minute or two, you come to a place where a couple of paths cross. In the distance you'll see another barn, and as you can see we're following the fence line through the trees hang over on your left hand side. Just keep heading forward, ignoring any paths that go off to your left or right. You'll come to a tiny footbridge over a stream, cross it straight up the other side. As you cross over the little bridge, have a look to your left hand side and you'll see a little stone pillar about 3 or 4 feet high, and there's some writing on there, and it reads, "From field and fell, run cold, run small, I am the rain." And below it there's about another 3 lines, but we can't quite make them out because they're covered in moss. But there's nothing to stop you having a look yourself. We've just crossed the tiny bridge now. We're heading uphill. You can hear the noise of the stream behind us. As we walk along, we can hear some noise, and we've a couple of robins here, look. One at the side, look. They're on these fences. They're having a bit of a barney with each other, look. We're 15 feet away from 2 robins. Well, there we are. We had 2 robins there fighting for a bit of territory. He's just behind us, is he? And there we are. We can see him on the skyline there. We're looking back towards Kirkby Stephen with the hills in the background. He's seen off his rival and he's just letting him know who's boss. He's gone. Well, we're just going to cross over the old railway bridge, but before we do, we turn round, and this gives us a chance to sort of show you some of the countryside around Kirkby Stephen. That's the path we've just come up there, and as you walk up the path you'll find 1 or 2 more stones with the words and the funny sayings on them. So we cross over the railway bridge and turn right. We've had a quick look over and it looks like there's a bit of a path through, so that looks like a walk for another day. We've just crossed over the railway line. 50 feet down there's like 2 stone blocks, and they're covered in that fancy writing as well. It's just started to rain a bit, so we thought we'd just get under the trees. You know, they are seats, I think. We've just seen a buzzard go into them trees there, so we're just going to see if he flies off. But it's a great shot if he doesn't. And as we're watching, having a sandwich, we see the sheep in front of us, in front of the trees. And as he's eating, he seems to keep lifting his head up higher and higher. He looks a bit like a llama at that. You can see in the background the swifts and swallows diving in and out of the sheep, looking for the insects. After our quick break, we just keep following the track slightly downhill. We're heading towards Eden-Nateby now. As we walk along, we look to our right hand side and we see a couple of barns. I think that's a great shot, that. We're still following the track and we've got the wall on our left hand side and it's covered with moss. In the distance, another wall and a barn. Keep walking forward till you see a little stream across the track with a tiny bridge. And you'll see there's a track turns off left, slightly uphill. That's where you want to go, so don't cross the stream. As you head forward, you'll pass a farm on your right hand side. You've the little stream down below and there's our track on the left. We're just coming up into Eden-Nateby now and we'll try and show you as much as we can as we go through the village. So we head forward about another 80 or 100 feet. As soon as you get to the end of the wall, look to your right and you'll see a little ford that goes across for the tractors. Just head forward another 20 or 30 feet and on your right hand side you'll see a tiny footbridge. We cross over there and turn right. So we're heading up into Eden-Nateby now with the ford on our right hand side. Walk forward 100 yards. On your right hand side you've got Low Farm. Straight in front of you you can see the top road, but we're just going to turn left in front of that van up like a stone track. We've come out onto the road. Just in front of us we've got the Black Bull pub, and then just opposite from the pub you've got the service station and we've got an ice cream sign. As we walk across the front of the garage and the pub, we come to the village green just before the telephone box. We take a look left and this is the road to Reeth, but we're heading forward on the Hawes Road now, looking for a right turn to take us back to Kirkby Stephen. Just walk forward 100 yards, past the old school on your right hand side. In front of you you'll see a 30 sign and that's pinned to the public footpath post. The post says turn right, Wharton Hall, so that's the way we're going. As you walk to the end of the wall 100 yards you'll come out into an open field. In front of you you'll see the railway line and we know it's still working because we've just seen a train go over it. We're just heading straight forward till we come to the river. We're still managing to dodge the showers. As we walk over the open field we're looking to our left and we're trying to show you the countryside as we go along. The forecast today was heavy rain in the west, but you know, it's the 18th of July, we've risked it, and I think today we're going to get this walk done without getting too wet. We've got slightly wet, but right, well, we've just walked to the end of the field and down below us we've got the River Eden. If we look to our left hand side we can see the bridge. Just before we cross over the river we can hear some bird noise in the background. Let's have a look. And if we look there we've got a pair of oyster catchers and I'm pretty sure I can see a chick on the floor. And as we head down towards the bridge we look to the left hand side and there we are, we've got a shot of Wharton Hall on top of the hill. So we cross over the bridge, we're going to go up there, pick the path up, we'll be turning right. As we walk uphill, the fence in front of us, we think we've got a baby swift or swallow. Just at the back of there we've got a stone building. When you get to the top you come out onto a concrete farm track. The footpath sign to your right hand side says Stencrith. So we come off the concrete road through the gate in front of you. There's a yellow arrow on the left hand side post. And if you look in the distance, down the side of the fence, you'll see where the mole catcher has done his work. Just before we go through the gate, we thought we'd just turn to the right. You can see the back of Eden-Nateby there. And we've got the River Eden in front of us. This is a great place to take a couple of shots. We're walking through the field now, at the edge of the field, where we saw the oyster catchers, and this has given us the chance to get a better shot. We think these are only young ones because the parents have flown off. That one has as well. And we can see the others. Hey, that's gone now. We just head forward across the field. We can see the stile just in front of us, and you can hear the oyster catchers there. As you head forward over the next field, you'll see some newly planted trees. Keep to the top side of the wood and head straight forward. We're heading towards the road and the old railway line. So we've walked at the top side of the wood. We've come to a wall. In front of you, you've got your stile with your arrows on there. We turn right. We could have come down the concrete track and turned right into this field. You know, if it was a bit wet, that would have been an easier way. But we're going across the field. After 10 feet, we turn left over this stile, keeping the wood on our right-hand side. So we just keep heading forward with the trees and the river on our right-hand side. As we cross over the next stile and we head our way down towards the road and the old railway line, we look back, and with a little gap between the showers, we decide to take a quick shot. We've just made our way down to the river now. We're just outside the village of Croglum. It's more or less like a bit of a rapids there, and you can see where people have been having a barbecue and a picnic here, so this is probably a great place on a Sunday to come with the kids are out. Well, we'll leave it at that. Well, I said we'd make that do, but we can't resist. Just slightly bit further downstream, filming, and we think we've seen a grey wagtail here, so let's have a look. There he is. There's a pair of them there feeding because I could see the insects he'd caught. Can't resist one last shot at River Eden. Fantastic. Plenty of water flowing. Well, there's always another shot because this is a new walk on us. You know, we didn't realise there's a viewing platform here, so here we are again. And you can see from the viewing platform the falls at the back, and the water's running under the rock and slowly wearing it down. Walk to the end of the viewing platform, up some steps, turn right and follow the footpath on the right hand side of the wall. As you walk along, look to your right. The water dives down, seems to go down a waterfall, and there's a big bridge in front of you. We're going to get to the other side and see if we can have a look at this. When you come up onto the bridge, turn immediate left for 100 yards. You'll see Kirkby Stephen sign in front of you, and then we turn immediate right. We go through the gate, public footpath sign. We're going down towards the river again now. There's a sign saying viaduct walk, free car park. So we walk the short distance under the bridge to have a look at the waterfall there, look. And that's pretty impressive. We make our way back 30 feet, 40 feet. We walk down there and we return back to the public footpath. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've just got a tiny bit of sunshine, even though we've had weather warning saying it's going to be bad weather in the west. We're just following the path on the left-hand side of the river there, look. We've been lucky up to now. Let's hope we finish it. You're soon back out onto open fields again. You can hear the river on our right-hand side. We just keep following the river now, through that gate. We can see the hills in the background. So we keep walking forward till we come to a footbridge. We've got a signpost just at the side of it. It says Eden-Nateby Road. We turn left there and follow the track till it comes out onto the top road, and then we turn right for Kirkby Stephen. Well, because of the bad weather forecast, we could only do a short walk today. We decided to have a ride onto the Dales, and we've ended up at Kirkby Stephen. We just picked a walk out, one we've never done before, and hoped for the best, never thinking that we'd finish it because of the rain. Well, I think we've been very lucky today. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our walk. You've been walking with a taxi driver today.